I know a lot of us started kitchen gardens, and the kitchen gardens were, taking our lettuce, our produce, and sticking it in a glass of water and having it
I know a lot of us
root.
started
And
kitchen gardens.
that was, I have pictures of my celery, this tall just coming out of a glass.
Wow.
So yeah, a lot of plants continue that way.
Yes, yes.
All right, good to know. Good morning, everybody. The
Morning.
topic of the day. Hi, Linnell. Where's your mom been?
I don't know. She had a fall and she wasn't feeling really well, so I don't think she's gotten quite back into the saddle, so to speak. So I
That's
just
fine.
saw her. I just saw her week before last, and she was doing much better.
Good, 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 good. All right, so today we are talking about safety and security with things like Facebook and social media, but also talking about Google. And I don't remember what the topic was. The note that I wrote for myself from last week said, Google asks permission. Does that ring any bells? I'm busy scribbling as we're talking, and I didn't write any more than what that
Where
was.
where's Amy?
I know, I know. Well, I'm actually kind of stalling because Amy specifically asked about safety and security
Yeah.
social media. So I'm stalling. But does anybody have any questions about Google that we didn't cover, that we haven't covered, or that you just don't know? Because I wrote a note about it and I don't remember what it is. No? Okay.
Question on Facebook. I want to close my husband's account.
Yes, that is a good one. And were you here for when we talked about legacy accounts?
I don't remember.
It was, we've been trying to get through it the last couple of weeks, and I forget.
Yeah,
You weren't here yeah, you were here last week.
I was there last week, but I'm
Um,
not sure about the week before.
okay. So legacy accounts are where you set up in either Google or with Apple, or both. You can and should do it for both if you have both, so that when you pass, that your accounts are passed on to somebody else who will then close them down for you. A lot of times what happens, and probably less now than before when all of this was brand new, but people would pass and we would not be able to get into their accounts to shut them down because we didn't have the passwords, or for many, many reasons they wouldn't allow you to or whatnot. First thing I believe with Facebook, and we'll look at it together, but the first thing I believe is that you do need a death certificate for that, for
Okay.
Facebook to close it down. Um, that's if you don't have his username and password. If you have his username and password, then you just pretend you're him, and you can do it that way. The other thing that you would want to consider is if there are any pictures, photos, things that might just be there, and I don't know how active he was, then you would want to download those first. And so we will look at that as well. That makes sense. First question is, do you have his username and password?
I probably don't.
Okay. So then in that case, I'm pretty sure you do need a death certificate.
That
Um,
I have.
okay, yeah, I figured, yeah. I've dealt with it with both of my parents. I had no idea how many of those things you needed to prove all over the place that you are the person who has the right to do what you're trying to do. It's
Right.
quite interesting. All right, I am going to text Amy real quick and find out where that woman is. Actually, we'll just call her. All right. Hi, Teresa. Welcome.
Morning.
Since this is for her. And where did Terry go? Maybe she's in the other room.
May drop out early. My exterminator is supposed to come sometime after 9.
Okay, that's fine. When they pop in, go ahead and drop out. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll first go to something that Maria has asked me to do, and that is that Joy Center has revamped its website. And so I want, and she wants you all to see the new website so that you can see what there is there for you. So up in the top here, is a lot more tabs for you to be able to look at what's happening. So for instance, right here, classes and RSVP, changes to schedule. They're going to be posting changes to schedule, last minute stuff. Class descriptions are here. So this is a great thing for you to share with folks who know nothing about Joy. This is a great place for them to see exactly what's happening right here, right now. And then there's also the RSVP. It really helps them a lot if you RSVP for a class that you're going to attend. Now, Maria and I have talked about it. You don't have to RSVP for this class if you're joining online because it doesn't mean that they need to make sure certain things for when people are in person. If you are going to join this class in person at the Joy Center, then it's easier for them if you go ahead and RSVP. But anything that you attend in person, they ask that you please RSVP. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get in if you don't do it, but it just is a huge help to the staff. And that's on a weekly basis. So that they can kind of plan for how many people they know they're going to have. Also, right here, we've got the contact. So I know that all of you are already on this, but this again is another place for you to share with people so that you can say, oh, well, you can get the Joy newsletter as well. Here's a brand new one, suggestions. So if you have ideas that you would like to share with the Joy Center, you can click on the suggestion box and fill this out. And what do you want to tell them about? And you can just write it all out. This is a Google form, so it's going to be compiled, electronically, really easy. There's also the business sponsors and partners. These are the people that help, really fund the Joy Center. These are people that give big dollars. So give them a consideration when you're thinking about, who to thank in town for having the Joy Center. That's pretty cool. And then let's see, about us, we've got our current board of directors. Names. Oh, no pictures, just names. And then there's also a little bit about the history of the Joy Center. So if you weren't here at the beginning and don't know how it all works, there's a little bit about the history of it. And for better or for worse, there's still a video that I did about why joy matters. So if
How
you
long
missed,
ago did you do that video?
this was, let's see, yeah, this was in the Keys house, so probably did this in about 2019, I'm guessing. Yeah. Yeah, it was before COVID for sure. But yeah, if you miss me while we're on vacation, you can always just go to the website. Also, participant waivers, if you're doing any of the physical activities, and then you want to go ahead and make sure you do a waiver. You can't participate in the physical activities without that. And anything I think on site. It's been a while, but I think that and this is once a year, so you don't have to keep doing it over and over, just once a year. And let's see, there was one other one. Oh, photo gallery. This was the one I hadn't looked at yet, but oh, there's our line dance teacher. There's our ukulele group. So some fun photos of what's happening in Joy. And I'm sure that there is more to come. So
Good, very nice.
just so you know, all of that is there. we stalled enough. Dear Amy is not here. We're going to move forward. Let me go ahead and pull up Facebook. Get rid of that. Get to this. Go here. And hopefully what's on my personal Facebook page won't offend anybody. We'll see. Okay, so let me go to share. And we are going to go straight into looking at our settings. So when we want to know anything about our settings, you're going to go up in the corner here to your account, click on your account. All right, I'm doing this account here, right? So it's already headlined. It's this one. Then we're going to go down here and we're going to look at Business Suite. No, that's for the business ones that I run, but here's settings and privacy. So we're going to click there. We're going to go to first off settings, and that'll just take us to the main settings page. Let me get rid of this so we can see everything right. All right, now, first thing I'm going to look at, and this is going to look a little bit different to you than yours does because I manage several pages for organizations. So a personal page is going to look a little bit different, but the mechanism and everything that's available to you is going to be the same. So first we're going to look at, I'm just going to do a search for delete account for Betty. So that's going to take me to a lot of things. We've got personal details, account center, accounts. Let's see if it has anything that's specifically, okay, scroll down. Keep scrolling. It's not scrolling. Isn't that interesting? It's not scrolling. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. Now it's scrolling. Now, this is what yours is going to look like. So I was in Meta Account Center, which is for the business pages, but the personal stuff is going to look like this. It's a little bit bigger. It's a bolder font. Scrolling down, your activity, resources. So sometimes I just take a look and see, okay, is it just right here and easy to find? And honestly, with Facebook, it is not. It's not. And it's very frustrating to me because I have had to deal with Facebook recently for getting locked out of one of the business accounts. And it's just, so now I'm going to delete my account and see where we get to. Thinking about it, oh, it took me right back. So let's go to Account Center. And Account Center, so I'm going to go to my personal profile. And that's it. It's not going to show me more. Password and security, personal details. Okay, so now I'm at the point where it's like, all right, I have already spent too much time trying to figure this out. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go to how to delete my account. This should bring me to an article because they have tons and tons of articles. How to find, how to allow. And if they don't have me here, because see, they really don't want you to, right? They're not just answering my question. So then what am I going to do? I'm going to go to my friend here, how to delete Facebook account. And we'll let AI answer it. Navigate to settings and privacy, then settings, and then your Facebook information. Okay, so notice how Facebook, like I said, does not want you to do this. So we're going to go, let me look back at that one more time. Your Facebook information. I didn't see that there, but let's just say, go back, go down here, and it was under settings and privacy, correct?
Yes.
And I'm in settings and privacy, and then it is, wasn't it your Facebook information? See, I already forget.
Yeah,
Your Facebook information. Audience and visibility, your activity. Not seeing that.
Your profile?
Maybe. Let's go back up. All right. Privacy checkup, family center, default audience, preferences. Profile and tagging, blocking, your activity. And this is one of the reasons why, honestly, I hate Facebook. Facebook is a great resource and it's a great tool, but it is one of the least user-friendly tools I've ever used. So let's go back. Your Facebook information. So that's in quotes. So I'm going to put that in. Your Facebook information. Your information and permissions. We'll try that. Okay, so here we are. Isn't that interesting? Your information and permissions is what it's actually called. So, Betty, one of the things that I had said earlier that if there is information in there, pictures, videos, things like that, that you want to save, you want to download it first, this is where you're going to do that. So, Account Center, and again, I'm in Meta here. So for a personal, just one account, it's not going to look like an account center. You're just going to be going straight through Facebook, but the language should be the same, your information and permissions. So you can just do a search for that. Then we go here to download your information, and we're going to click that little tab. And it says, includes everything you've shared, your activity, and things that they collect. Choose what you want. And then when your files are ready, we'll transfer them to another service or you can download them to your device. So when I click download or transfer information, that's going to take me somewhere, but I'm going to look here first. Current activity, scheduled activity. You're not going to see scheduled. That's a business one. View past requests. So I have done it in the past. So it says your download or transfer won't include information someone else shared, like someone else's photos you're tagged in. But if I look at past requests, so I have done specific downloads for these groups. And so I can look at these, see, okay, I did that. When did I do that? Okay, so if I need to go back and look and see where is that downloaded information, I have a date to reference it to. But if I go right here, download or transfer information, firstly, I'm going to collect which account it's going to be. And then I'm going to tell them, what do I want? Do I want all of the information or do I want very specific things? So we'll look at the specific one first. So here's my choice. It's a pull down. So I've got, do I want to save anything I've saved? Any voting I've done, any messages, any posts, and I can see all, there's more. Pages, polls, events. So there is a lot of things. Bug bounty, I have no idea what that is. Lots of things that I've probably never even participated in. Navigation bar, live videos, activity you're tagged in. Now we've got personal information and we've got who all my friends were, all of my logged information, security and login. So I would say on the safe bet, rather than picking and choosing, because you probably for someone else don't know what they've, been involved in Facebook, but it would be good information for you to have. Plus, once you delete account, you will never ever get it back. So download it all. And then you can just look at it and delete it all if you don't want it later. But let's go to available information. So I click here and I'm going to say, where do I want to transfer it? Choose to download a copy to my device. So the computer I'm on, this is what it would download to, or to another destination. Let's look at device first. If I look at device, and I'm going to give it a date range. Okay. So I can say, but let's go back a minute because there was another thing. How much storage space do I need? I want to know that. So the typical amount of space is around 2.5 gigabytes. That's not a whole lot. I would have thought it was way more. So if you're going to download it to your computer, and you've got plenty of space on your computer, great. 2.5, like I said, isn't a lot. If you want to download it to your computer and then put it on a flash drive, again, that's not much. And that would be a way to have it stored off of your computer. So I'm going to say, got it. I read that. All right. So if I want to transfer to a destination, let's see what destinations. Where do they allow me to do it? Okay, so they have two that they work with, Google Drive and Dropbox. What was my other choice? How often? One time? Huh. Oh, okay. Scheduled transfers include information that wasn't in the last one. So how long do daily transfers take? 2 days or 1 day or less for the next scheduled transfer. Interesting. And I think this is if you're keeping the account up and running. If you're going to just close an account and you just want to dump all the information, then I wouldn't worry about how long the transfers take, because if you're going to do it one time, that's it. Everything that's on there and you're not posting anything new, you're done. So, you can click one time, and that's going to be the setting for that. There's one time. Select destination. Let's go back a minute, and we would just go download to device. If I go download to device, I'm going to pick my date range. I can do last week. I can do of all time, right? I can do the last 3 years, whatever it is that I want. Their default is last year. But if it's a big Facebook account, and like I said, you want to take it all, then you're going to change this setting to all time, and then you click save. And then when you're ready to go, you're going to create files and it's going to start the process. I'm not going to do it, but that's pretty much leading you through that whole thing. Now I'm going to pause for a minute here. Oh, she joined us. Good morning, Amy.
I've been here since before 8.
What? You have
Yeah,
not.
I've been here.
You're not.
Yeah.
Hi, Renee and Andy. So we're talking about, Amy, I stalled like crazy for you because we were talking about Facebook and it was your
Oh,
request.
no, I truly got on right before it even, well, it's 8 o'clock here. It's 9 o'clock there.
You didn't show up here though.
What do you mean?
I called you because you didn't show up, that you were in the room.
That's weird. I've seen
Martin,
the
Betty, Joyce, and Connie will all attest.
That is so weird. No, I've heard everything since
Okay, good. Yay. Did you hear me say, well, I'm going to call her because she's not here yet?
No, I did not hear you say it, so I wasn't
No.
there yet.
She came on right after you said that.
Thank you.
Oh, that's
I
right.
thought you had called her, and that was why she came on.
No, I'm
I hear what you're
sorry, and thank
saying.
you.
You
Thank you
said
for
8
calling.
o'clock. We actually start at 8:45 my time. What time is it
Oh.
there?
It's an hour late.
You're an hour earlier.
Earlier.
Right.
Yeah, so we start at 8:45.
Well, since when?
Ever?
No,
Quite some time.
a long time.
A long time. A long
No
time.
wonder she's always late.
Oh, ouch.
You don't read your newsletter.
Oh boy, I'm getting beat up here.
We are taking on Amy Day. Only
But
because we love you and we know you can take it. All right.
Yeah.
I
and,
supported you, Amy. I
and
backed
thank
you
you. and
up.
Thank you for calling me.
Of course. All right. So let's back up. So what we did was we took Betty's request, which was how do we delete an account for her husband, Claude. And so it was a long road because Facebook doesn't want you to delete. So doing a search for delete my account didn't produce a result. I went out of Facebook, went to Google, got the answer. Wasn't a great answer, but it was a start. Brought us to where we needed to be. Talked about downloading our information. Now, that's not a skill that you need just if someone passes. That's a skill that you might want to do on a fairly regular basis for any of your social media, Um, because it's good to have your stuff if it crashes. It's also good to have your stuff if your situation changes. Let's say that you just decide, well, I'm just not going to do anything with Facebook anymore. I'm just going to ignore it, let it go. Or any, I'm using Facebook as an example, but fill in the blank for any social media. Know that your information is out there for all to see for all time, right? So even if you decide, yeah, I just don't, I have a Facebook account. I can't tell you how many times I've heard this line specifically. I have a Facebook account, but I don't use it. But others do. Others do, so others do for good reasons and for bad reasons. There's mischief to be made out there with Facebook accounts, as Terry can attest. She's had situations. They clone our accounts. They try and data mine all of our information. Social media is one of the easiest ways to do it. When I'm trying to find somebody, or find out about somebody, I will often go to their Facebook account. I go to True People Search to see what kind of information I can get on them. And then I go to their Facebook account. And if they don't have a Facebook account, then I go to Instagram, because there are a lot of people that do Instagram instead of Facebook because they think Facebook is bad for whatever reason. There's no good or bad. It's how you deal with it and what you do with your information with it. And you have control over those things for the most part. Yes, anytime you're on social media, it does leave you open and vulnerable, but overwhelmingly, the research has showed it also keeps people connected. And so knowing how to use it wisely is really healthy for you. My husband has a hard time putting down his phone when he's on Facebook. He just gets sucked in, and it's kind of like a brain drain on him. And I will walk into the room and I will stand there looking at him and I'm like, hello, I'm here. This is why I have dogs. I walk into the room and they run up and they're all excited to see me. But it does also keep us very connected. And for that, it is beneficial. So even if you don't use it, I'm not advocating that you get Facebook or any social media, but know that there are benefits to it. It's not all bad. Joyce, did you have your hand up?
What's the difference between Facebook and Instagram?
Good question. Perception. The short answer is perception. So Instagram is owned by the same company, right? And so if you have a Facebook account and an Instagram account, you can do your settings so that it posts on both. So you're not having to go into one or the other. So that is a real benefit for me because honestly, I could care less about Instagram. It's way more visual. It's way more just pictures and videos. And I feel constrained by reacting to things. In Instagram, you can only love it. You can only give it a heart. You can't give it a sad face, a cry face, an angry face. You can't give it any other kind of reaction except for a heart. So I find, to me, it's not as interactive. I think that people who like Instagram better probably like that they're not somebody who has to make a reaction on everything they see in the world. I feel when I respond to someone's post, when I'm giving them one of the emojis of my reaction to it, that in a very small way, it's a communication with them. It's a validation of them. Somebody's dog died, the crying emoji. Somebody had their car broken into, the angry emoji. It's without taking a whole lot of time, being able to say, I see you, I feel you, I'm your friend, I'm with you, and that is how it keeps people connected. The next step is, of course, commenting on something. So lots of times you might not be that close with somebody, and you'll just do an emoji. And, when you look at those reactions, I can only speak to my reaction to it, but oftentimes I'll post something and I'll look and see, who liked it, how many liked it, how many loved it. You know, I look and see, you know, and not all the time. It's not like I'm tracking it all the time, but for something that's important to me, I often will look back and see. So we're having, for instance, a lot of environmental issues going on here in this town. And while I try and stay mostly off of Facebook for, because I have a large Facebook audience. I have people from the Keys. I have people from, you know, all over the place who are on Facebook. So what happens here in my little town might not matter to anybody else. But sometimes it does. So like I reposted a lost and found, a dog that's missing, you know. You guys don't care at all, but Pam down in the Keys, who does all the dog rescues, she always reposts it because she figures you never know when somebody's going to see that, because that's how Facebook works. If I post a lost dog and it says specifically, it says Burning Town area, he doesn't have his collar on, his name is Bandit, he's very friendly, here's my number, anytime, day or night, you know, and a little picture of the dog. You know, Pam reposts that. And I think that's really sweet of her to repost something for a dog that's lost in my area. But, you know, people are traveling, people are constantly moving, and somebody might see this dog in the most unexpected way. And so I think that's really sweet of her to do that. I posted a thing about my brilliant dog eating an entire bag of Oreo cookies. Panic mode, right? Because they're not supposed to eat chocolate. But when I look at this, I see that 73 people reacted to it. 20 people commented on it. And so when people comment on something very personal like this, I always read the comments and I always give them a reaction back to their comment. And so that strengthens our connections. It's also interesting to me to see who's listening to what, you know, who's paying attention to what in my life. There's let's see, another one where I actually was very political but local, and it was about asking folks in our area to serve on a county advisory board. Interestingly, and I'm fascinated by this, that only 8 people reacted to that. 2 people shared it, but no one made a comment. It's kind of interesting to me compared to the Oreo cookie story where 73 people reacted to it. Kind of interesting, you know? So how you react to things does help the Facebook logarithm know what you're interested in. So every time you click an emoji and you tell it, you're telling Facebook, this matters to me. This conversation matters to me. Or you are making a comment, that tells Facebook it matters even more to you, which helps drive what shows up in your inbox. With Instagram, you have, let me just pull that up. And Instagram doesn't show well on computers. It is really meant to be on a phone. So when I pull up my Instagram account, because I'm never here, and so I'm really not interacting with it. Here's one, Keys Life magazine, Holiday Isle Resort photo from whenever ago. This is the original old one, right, folks? Can you see this? This is
Yep.
not the current sign, correct?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, that's the real old one.
I love that.
So in this, I can see 13 people have hearted it, 2 people have commented on it, and it's all about the picture. In order to read anything about this, I actually have to take an action, which is tap the more, and the more will say, here's the first photo of photos taken at Holiday Isle. Check out the second post with great photos as well. And so then if I slide sideways, I can see the other photos that they have in this. But it's all about photos. And I'm like, okay, that's nice. You know, it's just, it doesn't do it for me. My future son-in-law is not on Facebook, only does Instagram, and he's 36, has no interest in Facebook. A lot of people say Facebook is for old folks only. And yet, around here, I know a lot of 30 somethings who are only on Facebook. So when people say such and such is only for, don't believe them. That's an opinion, right? Because I had someone say, in a rather large group of people of mixed ages, most of us looking like me, a younger person said, Facebook is for old folks. And the 36-year-old in the room said, that's all I look at. What are you talking about? So no right or wrong on this. Linda.
Just that I'm looking at Facebook and there's a whole thing on the holiday aisle that you're showing on Facebook also. There's also, just while we're on the subject, several flashback South Florida memories and they're a lot of fun because I grew up here, Miami. They're just a lot of fun.
It is fun. It is fun. And so going back to Joyce's question, I feel like Facebook is more interactive, whereas Instagram is more, I'm going to look at something to be entertained, but I really don't have to interact as much. And that may be just a personal opinion, but the formatting is different, where Instagram is so much more just picture oriented, less text oriented. But what Linda pointed out is on both. And so that's what a good business is going to do. They're going to connect the accounts so that when you post on one, it posts on the other, and you don't have to do double posts. This is not double work, but it does increase your coverage for those people who don't look at anything on Facebook. And you may, if you're trying to outreach to younger folks, definitely a good idea to have that Instagram account. Now, in that conversation that we were having, and somebody said, no, nobody's looking at that that's young. Who's looking at that is what young people are looking at is TikTok. And that is true. That is true. TikTok is very, very popular among young people. I held off having a TikTok account for the longest time because of all the conversations that were happening in Congress about the government and TikTok accounts. And they were saying not to have, they were not allowing government employees to have TikTok accounts because of the potential for Chinese spying. TikTok is owned by a company called ByteDance, and it is a Chinese-owned company. And so the American government was very concerned that people were being influenced in ways they didn't know because it was a Chinese company. That is probably true. And it all comes down to being savvy about the platform, whatever the platform is. People will tell me, I just don't do that stuff because it's all hateful. And I'm like, what are you looking at? Me and Linda are reminiscing at old pictures and having a good time thinking about, the first rum punch we had at the tiki bar, So I don't know what, people are looking at. You're going to find what you're looking for, and what you react to is going to give you more of the same. So in that mode, they do tend to be echo chambers. And if you click on something or go to something that's wildly different than what you're interested in, it will start to take you down that road. So let's just say race cars. I have zero interest in race cars. But if I start seeking out social media pages about various, whether I'm looking at a race car driver, a woman I went to high school with, her son is a pretty decent race car driver. So let's just say I go to her Facebook page and she's always posting stuff about her son. And then I start looking at other stuff and I react with her post more. Then I maybe look at his page, and then I might look at the track that he races on page, or I might look at an event. Now all of a sudden Facebook's going to go, oh, she has a new interest. Let's start feeding her more stuff about race cars. And so that will start showing up in my feed. So I am very careful about what I go to that I don't care about because it's annoying. It's not a bad thing per se. It is doing what it's supposed to do, which is driving information to you that you're interested in. And so, so I'm real careful not to go to race car pages because I just don't want to see all that cluttering up. I like to see pictures of nature and, what's happening with my friends and family. Let's go back to, I'm going to share and go back to Facebook now that we have looked at Google accounts. So we got way off of where we were with Betty. Hopefully it was useful, but I did want to stress that accessing your information, downloading your information, all of that under information and permissions is important for you to know and have and understand that you can at any point in time pull all your stuff back and then leave the group. Okay. Leave Facebook or whatever social media it is. Now, next one, I believe it was under accounts. No, personal details. I think that's where we were going. Account ownership and control. So now we get back to that legacy information. So remember, I talked previously about an Apple legacy or an inactive account with Google. You also have that with Facebook. So if anyone has social media, it's a really good idea to take a look at this. So this is personal details, account ownership and control. And we go here. First thing is memorialization. Decide what happens to your Facebook profile after you pass away. Good information. I haven't selected it, so we're going to go ahead and select what happens. Two things. I can memorialize my account and I choose a legacy contact to manage my memorialized profile. So this means that they stay open and people can continue to look at the pictures that were there, learn more. And then it takes me to a whole article on everything I need to know about memorialized profiles. Okay, and so lots and lots of stuff here. It's for Android, it's for Apple, it's for browser, it's for computer. I'm on a computer, so it recognized that. So I'm going to send you this link so that you can read more details about it. But this is deciding what's going to happen. Or I can say, no, I don't want to memorialize it. I want it to disappear with me. And I click delete after death. That means that it's going to be permanently deleted after I pass away. And I'm
gonna do that?
sure, go ahead.
Who's gonna do that?
You do it now. You
But
do
how did
this
they know,
now.
how did they know when you died?
You're going to have your legacy contact.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. And that's in that article that I'm going to send you. But delete after death, let's just click it and see what happens. Now it gives me a next option. So that's going to go into, I'm sure, but I'm not choosing that one. Sorry, folks, but you're stuck with me forever. I'm going to go memorialize account. And then I'm going to click next. And it says choose a legacy contact, someone who's going to look after my main profile after I pass away. So I am going to do my daughter so that my husband doesn't have to deal with it. And your legacy contact will be able to download a copy of your data. And I click that. So I'm giving her permission. And I click save. Okay, now it is sent. Now, here's an option. They're going to send it through Facebook Messenger. Hi, Larissa. Betsy is letting her know that I'm choosing her. And so then it's going to send it. I'll let you know how it goes. She's not very social media connected. So I don't know if she's going to see that.
She's
But
gonna think
anyway,
something
so
happened to you.
what?
She's going to think something happened to you or something's pending.
No. She knows I'm on top of this stuff. All right. So now select your Facebook account to manage your preference. Instagram. Oh, let's back up a minute. What did that say? Instagram and WhatsApp are handled differently. Okay. So there's another good article. What about your Instagram? Oh, I guess it's all going to be in the same article. Yeah, it's all in the same article. It's the same thing. What happens to you? All right. So now, memorialization. Let's see. There's the legacy contact. Data archive permission is on. If you change your mind, you can delete your account after death. So that means that Larissa can decide, I don't want to handle this. Right now I can change. So I might not want her. If something happens to her, I might choose not her. So there's always the option to change that. So this is really helpful, just like having a legacy contact for your Google account and your Apple account, having a legacy account, having a legacy contact for your social media is important. Now, let's see. The next piece, which was where Betty is, remember, we're in personal details, and account ownership and control was how we got to that legacy account thing. But now we want to look at deactivate or delete your accounts and profiles. We go here, deactivate or delete. You can temporarily deactivate or you can permanently delete. So we're going to go to this one. All right, here's my choices. And I'm going to keep my mouse far away from any choices while I read. All right. If you want to take a break, you can temporarily deactivate this account. If you want to permanently delete your account, let us know. So the first one is deactivating is temporary. Your account and main profile is deactivated. Your name and photos will be removed. You'll be able to continue using Messenger, okay? Or delete your account. This is permanent. When you delete it, everything goes away. You won't be able to retrieve anything afterwards. All additional profiles will also be deleted. So you would select that button and then hit continue, okay? I'm not going to go any further than this, but what I will tell you is that when the easiest thing to do is to see, so there's in this little one where I just did the Google search, how to delete Facebook account. There's a video that shows how to delete your account in 2025 because the rules always change. So make sure that what you're watching is something current, but this is how to delete your Facebook account. I haven't watched the video, but it's going to lead you right through it. Here is another one, different company. I would tend to go here. This is an article by Facebook, how to permanently delete your account. So let's look at that one. How to permanently. So this is a nice article, and I will send you this. It's going to give you all of the information you need to know, and there's your step-by-step. And what's the source? Facebook. I would take with a grain of salt watching something on YouTube somebody else says about how to do it, because there's lots of information out there. I would go to the source, as always, for any information I want, going to the Facebook Help Center and getting this article, and I am going to send it to you. All right, I'm going to stop the share, and maybe Amy.
A quick question. I wonder, most people probably aren't going to do this. Do you think maybe after there's a year of inactivity, Facebook just deletes the accounts? I wonder how that works.
No, it will not.
It will not. Okay.
It will not. It will not. And some people I know have decided to take a break, so to speak. And I'm going to go back to that conversation about that social media is not the enemy. Our ability to use it wisely is our best tool with anything on the internet, anything digital technology related. It's all about what we know and how we use it to control it versus it controlling us. The people I know who have said, I'm taking a break, I'm getting off of it, and have deactivated their accounts temporarily, I'm going to hazard a guess that they don't understand how they can make it work for them. Just like a knife in the kitchen. You can use that knife for good or you can use it for bad. And you have to know how to use a knife,
Yeah.
You can cut your finger. I have many times. And, and you can safely chop vegetables without putting any blood in the pot. Terry.
Okay, I have some very important things to say. First of all, sometimes people get on Instagram. Even years ago, I got on Instagram to see my kids and grandkids stuff because they weren't using Facebook anymore, or like, not using it. She'd answer to stuff on Facebook, I'd see her, but not really reading it or posting anything. And the other thing is about, I missed a very important something about when you were talking about signing, when we're talking about the new web page from Joy and all the other information. The waiver is not for, we should change the name to waiver and registration, because everybody has to fill those in. And
Gotcha. Okay.
we had such a long time, even people in the class I see, because, and getting back to Facebook, we do birthdays on there and people love them and they react to them. We even hear from people that they went to high school with, or that more than, like you said, it's contact with people just from something about that. And that if you don't want to do anything else on Facebook, come to the Joy page. It's fun, it's interesting, you'll find out things, you can see the schedule or have the connection to the web page. And we have Friday quotes of the week, which some of you have participated in, Teresa, and they're really great. And it's something that everyone should know about you or share, or if you don't want to, don't, but you can read about other people. And that's just been bothering me because of all people in this class. I've said it before, but I know that word, that I should say registration, because then we know, and we only want your day and month. We don't want your, right. We don't need to have your year if you don't want to share that. And the other thing about not identity, but getting new account. My husband just got it again. A friend of ours sent that he was cloned on Facebook, or he has another. Okay, yes. And I have one more thing. Oh, just about, as they said, with people thinking about, and we also are on Instagram, and from Instagram, I think I've gotten a lot of more reaction from friends that I didn't even remember, people I worked with, friends because they are all looking at Instagram. So even if it's some just older youth in Islamorada, and also people, when you do put Key Largo, Islamorada, or whatever, they always want to hear about stuff. They think it's. Somebody asked me if it was out of the country, is in this country.
I hope you answered no.
I said, "No, we're trying."
It's the Conch Republic.
Okay, so I am on the Joy Instagram page, just older youth, and things should be cross-posting here as well. So this is how Instagram looks. And like I said, Instagram is meant for your phone, not for a computer. But when you're looking at it, you've got all of the blocks of the pictures, and that's how it's going to show up first. If you want to look at, so this is under, I can then click on this and read more about it. So here's the picture. Here's my opportunity to give some information. I can add a comment, and this just says, don't miss Wednesday. Now I go to the little arrow here and I can look at the next one. Happy Wednesday, a cartoon. So like I said, these are, and I can turn on the song. Could you hear that?
No.
Nah.
Okay. Because Zoom is blocking it unless I change the settings in Zoom. But when you unclick this, you can hear what's happening there. So, I can look at all the posts and look and see what's being said in the posts here. That's in Instagram. I'm going to close this and I can look and just go back further in time the more I scroll.
Well, it's funny because it's really not from, except from about it's not really caught up as much on Instagram because it's not, we don't always post it there. I mean, just for,
Well,
or Blanky doesn't also, so.
And what you want to do then, oh, look, there's Carlene. What you want to do then, oh, that's a hilarious picture.
Isn't it great?
That's hilarious. I'm just gonna like that one. It already has 5 likes. So anyway, so what you want to do is you want to connect them so that what you post in one, you post in the other. And for a business page, Terry, you do that in Meta Business Suite. It's the easiest way to do it. All right, I won't explain that to you
No,
right now.
I'm
All right,
surprised because it's not changed. Yeah, go ahead.
Let's look at the Facebook page. So she was asking you to make sure that you like and subscribe and make it a favorite here. So lots of good information here. Just like with any Facebook page, this
There's some
does have a lot more
birthdays, yeah.
activity for sure. They do happy birthday wishes. They often do quote of the week. So lots more activity on the Joy Center Facebook page. And know that it helps Joy Center for you to like and follow it. That helps the organization. And we won't get into all the details about that, but that is, as a marketing tool, it's very useful. And then the other one, just to reiterate, for those who missed it, our website and what Terry, and I appreciate the clarification on this. The participant waiver is actually all of the information to register, but the waiver, you want this every year, the whole thing?
Yeah,
Okay,
and we
so they
found a
want
lot
this
of
every year.
changes, people don't even realize they.
Right, yeah. You have old information, then we can't contact you, and that's not useful. So do the participant waiver annually. Good?
Yep, and you can do it on the top of the, on the newsletter, in the web page or Facebook.
Yeah. Okay, so,
Takes a
all
minute.
right, done with the Joy.
Thank you.
Yep. Now, let's look at TikTok real quick. This is my trainer. He does strongman performances. And so this is, and he does a lot of TikTok videos. So these are 12-pound mallets, just so you know. And he's just using his hand strength to control these. He's a really
Wow.
strong guy. He also bends horseshoes into hearts.
Oh my gosh.
He takes regular horseshoes and bends them into hearts.
How old is he?
He's 30, no, he's 40.
Oh, well, we all could do that when we were 40.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. This is my niece, and I'm not sure who the little girl is, but there's my niece. I'm not turning on the volume because I would have to change the Zoom account to do that. So she's just having fun with it. So this is what TikTok looks like. It's all video. There's almost nothing that isn't video. So there's my trainer again. There's my niece again. She likes to do, and I think that's her dad. She's going to do a dance challenge. Yeah. So, this is a lot of fun. TikTok is a lot of fun.
Recipes.
Her dad is a former district attorney in Pittsburgh. He's a very funny guy. Anyway, so lots of fun stuff to look at.
Who was driving that car, Betsy? Go back.
The dog. Keys to Wellness, Group Fitness.
We just did no, what do we have? What was driving the car last week? A mouse. Never mind.
I'm
I
happy.
said-
That's right.
The squirrel. Yes, the
Yeah.
squirrel.
Squirrel,
Yeah, you
squirrel.
put that on the Facebook, or the Joy. That was good.
So that was, just a fast down and dirty. What are these all about? What we didn't get into, other than looking at how to delete, deactivate, or make a legacy, we didn't look at the actual settings for privacy. And if you have Facebook, go to your privacy checkup. That's the easiest thing to do. They have now made it very simple for you to do, to check up and see how are we doing with privacy. So let's see, I'm going to have to open up a new one. We'll go here because I don't want to lose those links. So if I go to me and then I go to my settings, settings and privacy checkup right there.
We're not seeing it.
Oh, you're not? Okay.
No.
Let's go back.
Ooh.
Share again, because I changed where I was, and sometimes Zoom doesn't like that. So I'm going to go back so you can see the process. So I'm going to go back. All right, I'm on my main page. I go up here to my little circle where my account information is. I go down to settings and privacy because I'm in this one right now. Then I go down to settings and privacy, click on that, privacy checkup. You can see this, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I go to privacy checkup, Facebook is going to lead you through everything you need to know to change your privacy to make it fit your needs. Who can see what you share, how people can find you, your data settings, how to keep your account secure, and your ad preferences. This is good. This is a definite improvement. Facebook used to bury this information, but now in the spirit of lawsuits, they decided that maybe we'll make it easier for people, and they gave little graphics and lots of information. So when you click on one of these, the first thing you're going to see is who can see. You can make changes at any time. So I'm going to hit continue. And it's going to show me what things I can change. And every time there's a little arrow, right, I can go to that and change those things. Profile information. So and so forth. But just let it lead you all the way through, and you will find what you need for those specific things. I recommend, if this was something that you haven't done in a while, do it again. Stuff changes, like Terry said. And then email me and let me know if you want to talk about it some more. You know, if you got into it and you go, yeah, this was easy, done, piece of cake, or I don't really understand this part. Let's look at it together. Or I found something that maybe not everybody else in the class knows, and it's useful information for other folks as well. So email me and let me know, and we'll talk about it some more.
Thank you.
I have a dentist appointment, so
Oh,
I've
sorry.
had a great morning up until this point, and now it's all going to be downhill from here.
Come
Thank
on.
you, Betsy.
Thank you, Betsy.
Thank you, Betsy.
Everybody,
Thank you.
put your registration waiver in.
Yeah, do your waiver, please. Go to the website and do your registration. They need
You
that.
know, I
You
thought
need-
I did it earlier. Do I have to do it again?
If you
Oh,
did it
well,
this
she-
year, then you're good. But if you didn't do it this year, do it.
I can actually, I can let you know, I can see who, I can look later to see who
Okay.
doesn't have one, because that will help, because some people just didn't remember. They thought they did it.
So
Okay,
Terry, I always send you an email of who attended class, so you'll have the
Yeah.
list right there.
and- okay.